He was a man named John, cloaked in sorrow. Life had been cruel, leaving him with scars both visible and unseen. His heart ached with a profound sense of injustice. The world, it seemed, was a tapestry of suffering. He had witnessed firsthand the ugliness of societal disparities. The privileged few amassed wealth while the downtrodden struggled for scraps. It filled him with a simmering rage. John yearned for something more, a world free from pain and inequality. His spirit, battered but not broken, sought solace in the ethereal embrace of nature. He had heard whispers of ancient mountains, their peaks piercing the heavens. Legends spoke of their mystical energy, a power that could cleanse and renew. It was there, in the heart of the wild, that he decided to seek his truth. He would leave behind the shackles of his former life, shedding his material possessions like a serpent shedding its skin. His journey would be one of austerity, a pilgrimage of self-discovery fueled by pain and propelled by hope. John walked away from the city, his heart heavy yet determined. Each step away from the urban sprawl was a step closer to his own personal liberation. He left behind the whispers of society's expectations, the suffocating weight of societal norms. His was a journey of introspection, a solitary quest for meaning in a world seemingly devoid of it. He embraced the silence, finding solace in the symphony of the natural world. The birdsong, the rustling leaves, the gentle murmur of the wind. These became his companions. He slept under the open sky, his roof a canopy of stars. His food was the meager sustenance the earth provided, his drink the crystal-clear water of mountain streams. With each passing day, he felt the layers of societal conditioning stripping away, revealing the raw, vulnerable essence of his being. He was shedding his old skin, preparing for a metamorphosis. The mountains loomed, colossal and indifferent, testing his resolve. Their slopes were treacherous, their paths unforgiving. John's body, weakened by his fast, screamed in protest, yet he pressed on, his spirit fueled by a yearning deeper than physical discomfort. He embraced the pain, recognizing it as a crucible in which his spirit would be forged anew. The elements became his companions, the biting wind, the scorching sun, the cleansing rain. He climbed higher, his breath catching in his throat, his lungs burning with exertion. The world below shrunk, becoming a distant memory, a canvas painted in fading hues. He was no longer bound by its rules, its expectations, its limitations. Up here, in the rarefied air, he was a solitary soul, adrift in a sea of clouds and sky. He sought refuge in ancient caves, their walls whispering tales of hermits and seekers from eras long gone. They had walked this path before him, their spirits lingering like phantoms in the mist. As he ascended, the world dissolved around him. The boundaries between his inner and outer worlds blurred. He began to perceive the interconnectedness of all things, the delicate web of life that bound every creature, every rock, every tree. His senses heightened, attuned to the subtle rhythms of the natural world. He saw beauty in the rugged landscape, a stark elegance in its unforgiving terrain. The mountains had become his sanctuary, his cathedral, a place where he could commune with the divine. He no longer sought to escape the pain of his past, but to confront it, to embrace it as a catalyst for transformation. He meditated for hours, his mind still, his breathing shallow. In the silence, he confronted the demons that had haunted him, the ghosts of his past. He forgave himself for his perceived failures, for the injustices he had suffered. And in that forgiveness, he found a profound sense of liberation. He was no longer defined by his past, but by the boundless potential of the present moment. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. John's physical form, ravaged by the elements and his fast, began to fail. He was little more than skin and bones, his eyes hollow yet filled with a strange light. He was nearing the end of his physical journey, but a new one was about to begin. He had long surrendered his attachment to his physical form, recognizing it as a temporary vessel for his eternal spirit. Death held no fear for him. It was merely a transition, a shedding of the old to make way for the new. His senses, once tethered to the physical realm, now soared beyond the confines of his body. He saw the world through a different lens, one that transcended the limitations of human perception. He felt the pulse of the earth beneath his feet, the flow of energy through the veins of the mountains. He became one with the wind, whispering through the valleys, caressing the peaks. Then, in a blinding flash of white light, his physical form dissolved. He was no longer John, the man broken by sorrow. He was pure energy, pure consciousness absorbed into the fabric of existence. He was the mountain, the wind, the sky. He was everything and he was nothing. His individual consciousness merged with the cosmic consciousness, the source from which all life springs. He understood now that his journey had been but a single beat in the eternal rhythm of the universe. His essence, now free from the constraints of his physical form, soared through the cosmos, a silent witness to the ebb and flow of creation and destruction. He experienced the birth of stars and the collapse of galaxies. He felt the pain of 1 billion souls and the joy of 1 trillion triumphs. Time ceased to exist. There was only the eternal now, a boundless expanse of pure potentiality.